time and energy goes into thinking about the past. I mean, we waste worrying about the past. There's a lot of anxiety of the future and the madness of the present. So, why and how should we balance these situations?
When we are creating negative thoughts and waste thoughts, the numbers will be high. The quantity and quality of thoughts is connected. When we're thinking pure thoughts, right thoughts, irrespective if the situation is not right, situation will not always be right for me. It may not be what I want. It is not what is called right also. The situation is not right. But my mind has to learn how to think right, even if the situation is not right. And so when I think right, the numbers are less. It's like if something happens today which is not my way, and I just have to create a thought, this is a situation, and I'm going to sail through it with ease, let me just begin. It's one thought. But if I say, why did this happen? How could this happen? This shouldn't have happened that way. We planned it this way. Now what will happen? What will happen to it? Is 100 thoughts. So quantity and quality are always connected. We cannot reduce the number of thoughts. It's not something that I can put a counter and say, think less, think less. I cannot think less. I just have to start thinking right. And daily spiritual knowledge, which means content, that's again content, and a few minutes of meditation daily makes it very natural to think right. So, why are we thinking a lot negative today? Because we're consuming a lot of negative content. But why? We don't call it negative, we call it normal. So whether it is we are consuming too much of what's happening in the world, even during COVID, media played a very important role in making us aware about COVID, making us aware about how to protect ourselves, it gave us complete knowledge because sitting at home, we would have never even understood what is COVID, how we have to take care. So that was the very plus sign of media. Media connected us all, media helped us to understand, media guided us what we should do, where we should go. Everything was good. But then the other side was, which is the role of media. So it was not the fault of media, it's the role of media to tell us what's happening in every corner of the world, what's happening in every city of the country, and the crisis that the country and the world was going through, how many people were losing lives, what was the figure of COVID. That is also the responsibility of media. But if I, the consumer, keeps on consuming that, one is to have information and one is to just go on consuming that again and again and again. And so post COVID, COVID is more or less a closed chapter, but post COVID, fear and anxiety has gone here, from here to here, because billions of people on the planet created fear and anxiety during COVID. So it's just the vibration in the air. And most of us consumed lot of content in the sense information. So post COVID, I'm finding a lot of people fearing life, fearing death. Pehle also people used to fear that what is my future? What if someone dies? That fear was there even before. But now it's at another level altogether. So without any problem in their life, without any issue, fear and anxiety is becoming a very predominant emotion. And second, some of them who lost a family member, yes, we know it's very difficult. It's a vacuum. But there is a period how much we can grieve, because if I grieve for very long, then it will become a sign of a depression inside me. But post COVID, that grief period is doesn't seem to be settling. So even after a year and a half, people are saying, I cannot sleep at night. They can just create a thought and they can start crying immediately. So we lost people earlier also. We've lost our family members now. But the way people would respond earlier and the way they're responding now is a little different. And so that is not healthy for them. That is not healthy for the people around them. That's not healthy for their children who are there around them. But they're saying, we don't know, we're not able to come out of it. हमसे ये हो ही नहीं रहा है. It's not that they don't want to settle. They want to, but वो हो नहीं रहा है. Why? Because suddenly there was so much grief and so much fear and so much information and so many emotions because of that information. So that's how much impact it can have on people. So media will give us the information. We take what is useful and what is needed. The rest is also important information. It's part of what's happening in the world, but I need to see how much I'm going to consume from there.
Right.